Welcome back to Cactus Wrestling. Let's talk about Alec Pantaleo at the 2023 US Open. The lat drop heard around the world. We're gonna take a look into this lat drop and then just talk about Pantaleo's reign back in the consolation of the bracket to march his way back to third place, even though he got upset in the round of 32.
Yeah.
So let's start from the beginning here. And it all starts off of off of his own single leg.
Yep.
So this is where he first locks it up.
Yeah, and you can even see Pantaleo knows, like, I'm going to put my hand on the hip. I'm going to defend any potential throw. And then at some point, that goes out the window because he gets launched.
Yeah, this Jacob Butler, he's definitely a taller guy. He's using the length to his advantage. And once he locks it up, he doesn't want to give up his position. So he's still got the grip locked. He's not letting that go.
I mean, being on both knees is not ideal for Pantaleo
Yeah,
here.
not a great spot to be.
Yeah.
So,
Being on both knees is not really how you're going to score points. I mean, granted, I know he's just trying to stop the score, but that's a uncomfortable position to be in. I know I would be trying to get out of it as quickly as possible, but
and you look, he kind of puts his hands out as if to just kind of face
You just
plant him,
fall. Yeah.
fall
yeah.
over him. But I think Butler gets like a hip heist as he
Yeah.
hits down.
Yeah.
And you
Yep.
see how he
It's
gets this.
Yeah, uses that underhook.
He's kicking that other leg.
He's got that underhook to arch his position. Pantaleo really needed to get his legs or punch his arm down or even just belly down at this point. But since he had that arm hooked underneath, there was really not much he can do. And then you can see he tries to roll out of it, but he's got it hooked up pretty good.
That underhook, having the arm, locks it up and forget about it.
Ooh. I mean, it's nice. There's really no
Yeah.
there's no ifs, ands, or buts. He just got caught. He got caught.
Yeah.
This is
a
what are you
very
saying
well
here? This is
executed.
like a top 10 guy in the world, right, or something?
Yeah.
Pantaleo, I could pull his ranking. Give me.
I think
Just come back to me.
6 or 8 or something, I think. But yeah, no, this is a very well executed throw against the top guy. I mean, he was projected to win the U.S. Open, not easy, but he was projected to win the U.S. Open. I know we all projected that he was going to win the U.S. Open, and it was just going to be who's going to take second to him.
I think people were ready, like, oh, I can't wait to see Zayn versus Pantaleo.
Yeah,
I think that's like that was the comment. Like everyone was like,
for Final
great,
X, Zayn versus
matchup,
Pantaleo is going to be off the hook.
Guess that wasn't happening.
You can see Butler. I mean, he really uses that right arm to punch him to his back, or else he would have got planted to his own back.
Yeah, well, I mean, his left arm. I mean, it's not in the frame. He's got to have Pantaleo's right arm like locked up, which is why he's able to kind of pull and push to get him over.
Yeah, you can see it right here. Left arm has it locked over.
I mean, that's how you do it. You go big, and hey, it worked out for him at least in this match. I know Butler lost his next match or the match after that.
Yeah, I don't think Butler ended up even placing.
He didn't.
Pantaleo. So Pantaleo was number 6 in the rankings prior to this, and Flo still has him as number 6, and says because he's established himself as one of the top wrestlers in the world with some pretty significantly big wins, including over the younger Yazdani. They're kind of keeping him at 6.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Makes
one
sense,
match, and then especially with this second part that we're about to discuss, it like what he did as he responded to this is just unreal. Like most guys, they lose early on in the tournament, and then they end up losing another one, or like they'll win a couple and then lose. I mean, not even Spencer Lee wrestled back. I mean, granted, that was at the NCAAs. He didn't wrestle back after the loss, but here he is. Pantaleo loses that match and comes right back at Hill, and boom, blanks him 10-zip. Like, I mean, he actually goes. What you can see that those first 3 matches, he's outscores his opponents 30-0.
10-0.
like in
This is
20
Caleb.
seconds, in a
This is Caleb
minute. Like,
Henson, who was an All-American this year for Virginia Tech.
yeah,
Yes,
and the
sir.
6th seed at this tournament. Like that's so like you'd expect that that guy could maybe score a point, not a tech in a minute. And then yeah, we got Reigns here. He finally scores some points, but right now he's up 39-4, outscoring his opponents.
Comes back and techs Ed Scott.
But yeah,
Also an
another
All-American.
Yeah.
All-American this
And the
this
fifth
past
seed.
year. So now he's up 49-4.
Gets an injury.
Gray's
Yep.
injuries out. So
Yep.
39-4, he gets the injury, but then he pins Hayden
Hayden hit.
Hidlay. He was like a 4-time All-American,
Yep.
one-time
Yeah.
finalist, pins him. He's outscoring his opponents 54-4 at this point.
Yep.
And then
Unreal.
he gives up 2 points for the third place match.
Jaques
58-6.
from Mizzou.
Outscores his opponents 58-6.
How many matches is it? 1, 2.
I think he had the one
3,
injury match, but then the rest he won
4,
the remaining matches. So
5,
I think it's 7 or
6,
8 actual wins.
7. 7 with the med forfeit.
Yeah, 7 with the med forfeit, which is, I mean, just to think about like the kind of mindset you have to be able to lose that early, and you basically just won 8 matches in a row to take third.
Yeah, I mean it's a good message for young wrestlers out there. I mean this is a tournament where it's pretty much win or bust, and this is a guy who wants to go out and make a message saying, yeah, I got caught, I'll own that, but I'm going to show my dominance, show my worth in the consolation bracket by just beating everyone up.
Yeah, like I wasn't here just for first. Clearly, I came wanting to get first, but I didn't get first. I'm going to get the next best thing I can, which is third. And in pretty dominant fashion. I mean, he only gave up 4 points in 7 actually wrestled matches. I mean, and I think they might have a true third matchup where Sasso's going to have to wrestle Pantaleo.
That's what I was looking up now to see if he still has the true third at Final X against Sasso. Right. I think he does.
In which case, I'm betting Pantaleo is going to beat Sasso up. Yeah. In which case, if he does, it's going to prove that he should have won the tournament, because Sasso Berger, as you may remember, was as close as it gets. Like that match, came down to like the final seconds. So,
but like you guys were saying, I think this is a great message for younger guys out there. And just for even the senior level guys that like, hey, if you don't always get a win, don't just be like, I fold my cards, little Vegas pun there.
Right.
He's still fighting for a world team spot. And when people say, what the heck? Why would I want that if I'm not the guy? Well, you get preferential treatment, you get early access to tournaments, you get, as a U.S. team member, you get to be, trained at the OTC with them more frequently, all that fun stuff. But additionally, like, your job's a wrestler, and I think Pantaleo, and why a lot of guys love the Titan Mercury Wrestling Club, is that everyone describes them as like they put on their hard hats, grab their lunch pail, and they go to work. And I think that Pantaleo fits that perfectly. He's like, hey, like, I'm here to wrestle. I didn't go the way I wanted. I'm not going to just, pick up my ball and go home. I'm going to keep going for the next best thing. And I think it was Dan Gable that said, always go for the next best thing.
Yeah.
So he's a
great
model there. Yeah. Great role model for the young guys out there. Hope some of the senior level guys can learn from that as well. Some of the top college guys, hopefully they can learn from that as well.
Like, do you think if Colton Schultz got upset in the first round, do you think he would have wrestled back and gotten third? Or is he only there for the gold?
It's tough to say after his performance at the Cliff Keen.
Right.
I think if he lost, if Rulon Gardner made weight and then beat him, I think I don't think he'd be coming back from that. I think he'd be very unhappy.
Right. I wish Rulon had made weight. I would have loved to have seen him wrestle.
He's pushing for it for 2024. That's what he said out.
I saw that. Yeah. So
Rulon Gardner, US 2024.
I wanted to mention this tweet from old Michigan alumni Malik Amin, who says, "Take note, World Team Dreams crushed. gets back to the drawing board, is crushing everyone on the backside, and for nothing but pride, my boy is going to be uber successful outside of wrestling with that character. Proud of this beast. Keep going. And this was in regards to Pantaleo deciding to just continue despite the early upset. And it's a good story. It's just a good feel good, you know, like you guys have been saying. This guy's career is wrestling. He's not going to just beat himself up after one loss. He wants to wrestle. If that means winning 7 in the consolation that day, he's going to do it, and it's only going to make him better. Like what's he going to do? He's going to forfeit out of the tournament and then just dwell on that? No, he's going to pick himself up, get some good quality wins under his belt, and then just get better from it. That's how the best wrestlers improve.
Yeah. One thing too is I know at the senior level, like these guys only do a handful of tournaments throughout the season, throughout the year. Majority of their matches are going to come at these things like the U.S. Open. So if you say, hey, I had my first round bye and I lost and I'm going to default out, you might only have one match up until your next big tournament, which could be months away. So for these guys, like they're really, if you're forfeiting out and defaulting, you're not getting a lot of real wrestling in besides the practice room. I think the gist of it is that this just defines wrestling. Is a lot of wrestlers are tough. It's a gritty sport. There's not a lot of happy endings all the time, but you keep going. I think wrestlers push through a lot of adversity, and we haven't seen a ton of that in recent years. Certain guys, yeah, for sure. But a lot of guys, maybe advised by their coaches or otherwise, have said, I'm out, I'm done, whatever. I think Alec Pantaleo is a good throwback to kind of the older wrestler vibe of, we're just going to keep pushing through and keep grinding and keep working and keep moving up the rung. And every time they put a wall in front of me, I'm going to go through it.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.